On a rainy evening, the sound of roaring thunder mixed with the frantic heartbeat of a man named Matteo. His hands were calloused, his clothes worn and oil-stained, and his soul weighed down by burdens no one could see. Life had never been easy for him. Growing up in a tiny, broken home, Matteo had learned early that dreams didn't come true for people like him. By day, he fixed cars in a crumbling garage at the edge of town. By night, he took odd jobs just to keep food on the table for his little sister, Camila, who depended on him completely after their parents' tragic passing. That night, as the storm raged outside, Matteo's old phone buzzed. It was a message from the landlord: last warning. Pay the rent by tomorrow or you and your sister will be out. Matteo's stomach dropped. He had nothing left, no savings, no family to help, no options. Desperation clawed at his chest like a wild animal. He sank onto a stool in the dim garage, staring at the stack of unpaid bills. Just when he thought life couldn't get worse, the sound of screeching tires cut through the night. A sleek black BMW pulled up, its headlights piercing through the rain. From the car stepped a woman whose presence seemed to command the world around her. She was tall, poised, and dressed in an elegant red dress that screamed wealth and power. Before Matteo could even process what was happening, she spoke in a calm but firm voice, her tone leaving no room for argument. "Si lo Arreglas en 30 minutos, te invito a cenar." If you believe in second chances, kindness, and the power of helping others, take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Diaries before we continue. This story will touch your heart, and you won't want to miss more like it. Matteo blinked, unsure if he had heard correctly. Dinner. In exchange for fixing her luxury car in 30 minutes. He wasn't sure if she was serious or mocking him. But he didn't have the luxury to question her motives. This was his chance. If he impressed her, maybe she'd pay him well enough to cover the rent and keep Camila safe. The clock began ticking in his mind. He rolled up his sleeves, revealing arms hardened by years of hard work, and got to work on the engine. Every second felt like a lifetime as sweat mingled with the rain dripping from the ceiling. The woman, whose name he would later learn was Isabella Valverde, watched him intently, seated gracefully on a wooden chair she had pulled from the corner of the garage. She seemed cold and distant at first, scrolling on her phone, but every now and then her eyes would flicker toward him with curiosity. As Matteo worked, memories of his struggles flashed in his mind. Camila's tearful face when she'd confessed she was bullied at school for wearing old clothes. The day their father's factory job had been cut, plunging the family into poverty. The night their mother passed away after a long illness because they couldn't afford proper medical care. These memories fueled him, pushing him to work faster, harder, smarter. 25 minutes later, with trembling hands and a heart pounding so hard he thought it might burst, Matteo slammed the hood shut and wiped his brow. "It's done," he said quietly, his voice hoarse from exhaustion. Isabella's perfectly arched eyebrow lifted slightly as she tested the car. The engine purred like a dream. For the first time, a faint smile graced her lips. Without a word, she extended her hand, motioning for him to follow her. Matteo hesitated. Was this real? Was she truly going to take him to dinner as promised? They drove to an upscale restaurant Matteo had only ever seen in magazines. The chandeliers glittered like stars, the scent of fresh roses filled the air, and waiters in crisp uniforms glided effortlessly between tables. Matteo felt entirely out of place in his greasy overalls, but Isabella didn't seem to notice, or care. She ordered the most expensive dishes without hesitation. As they ate, Isabella studied him carefully. Finally, she spoke, her voice softer than before. She told him she was a business magnate, owner of several luxury car dealerships and tech companies. But her wealth came with loneliness. People only ever wanted her money, never truly seeing her. Matteo listened quietly, his heart aching. In return, he shared his story. Isabella was silent for a long moment after he finished, her eyes shimmering with something he couldn't quite name. Moved by his honesty and resilience, Isabella made a shocking offer. She needed a personal mechanic for her collection of rare cars, and she wanted Matteo. The salary she offered was more than he'd ever dreamed of. But there was more. She wanted to invest in Matteo's dream of opening his own garage, a place where he could not only fix cars but also train young people who came from backgrounds like his. Tears welled up in Matteo's eyes. That night, he went home to Camila and told her their lives were about to change. She hugged him tightly, whispering through her sobs that she was proud of him. In the weeks that followed, Matteo's world transformed. His new job allowed him to move Camila into a safe neighborhood, buy her new clothes, and ensure she received a good education. Isabella visited often, not just as his boss but as a friend, and perhaps something more. But the true magic lay in how Matteo never forgot where he came from. He opened his dream garage, hiring other struggling young mechanics and giving them the second chance he had been given. Isabella became his silent partner, funding the project but allowing him to run it his way. As the grand opening approached, Matteo looked around at the bustling shop filled with laughter and hope. He realized that a single act of kindness, a single challenge, see lo Arreglas and 30 Minutos, Invito a Cenar, had changed everything. If this story touched your heart and reminded you of the power of kindness and perseverance, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Diaries. Let's spread hope together. Before we end, I have a special request. Comment below with the words, second chances, if you believe everyone deserves another shot at life. And remember, sometimes, the smallest opportunities can lead to the most extraordinary journeys.